Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff challenges Martina Hingis for key WTA record after winning at the Cincinnati Open. Coco Gauff has won her opening round match at the Cincinnati Open, bouncing back from a shock loss to Victoria Mboko at the Canadian Open. The American struggled for consistency at the Canadian Open, particularly on her serve. Gauff served an astonishing 23 double faults during a three-set victory over compatriot Danielle Collins in Canada. However, Gauff seems to have found some form in Midwest America, defeating China's Wang Xinyu in her opening match. The victory marks a welcome return to form for Gauff, who has struggled since winning the French Open in June. Victory over Xinyu marked new territory for the 21-year-old, as she is now rivaling Martina Hingis in a particular statistical area. Coco Gauff rivals Martina Hingis after winning in Cincinnati. Martina Hingis is a Swiss tennis legend who became the youngest ever Grand Slam singles champion when she won the 1997 Australian Open at 16 years old. She also became the youngest ever world number one in the same year. Hingis, who was Switzerland's first ever Grand Slam winner and world number one, was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 2013. The Swiss star won 25 Grand Slams during her esteemed career, 5 singles titles, 13 doubles titles, and 7 mixed doubles titles. Skipping ahead to 2025, and Coco Gauff has challenged one of the many records set by Hingis after defeating her Chinese opponent 6-3, 6-2 at the Cincinnati Open. As per Optoace, Coco Gauff has moved past her opening match in 36 of the 44 WTA 1000 tournaments she has appeared in. Only Martina Hingis has one more opening matches in Tier 1/WTA 1000 tournaments before turning 22. The Swiss legend won her opening match at 46 Tier 1/WTA 1000 tournaments before turning 22. Coco Gauff previews rematch against Diana Yastremska. Coco Gauff has drawn a familiar foe in the Cincinnati Open third round, Diana Yastremska. The American was stunned by Yastremska in the Wimbledon first round, with the Ukrainian winning 7-6, 6-1. Ahead of their rematch at the Cincinnati Open, Coco Gauff discussed whether she was out for revenge against the Ukrainian. Speaking to reporters, Gauff said, "I don't ever think of revenge type of tennis. At first I used to think like that, but then I'm like, I've played too many people too many times to have like a revenge mindset. But no, I think for me it's a good measure to see where my game is. I feel like that Wimbledon match, it was just a tough loss for me, and I don't think I approached it as well, and Diana's. I always have trouble against her. She's a tough opponent, great ball striker, can pull winners out of anywhere. So yeah, it'll be a tough test for me, especially having to play her again. But I think I had more time to work on things on a hard court season, and definitely, I think a better surface than grass for me. So yeah, it's going to be a tough match. But I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I can do better than Wimbledon." The passing of the torch, Coco Gauff's challenge to Hingis' legacy. In the blistering heat of a late August afternoon, as the sun dipped low over the Ohio skyline, the crowd at the Lindner Family Tennis Center erupted. Coco Gauff, just 21 years old, had done it again, clinching the 2025 Cincinnati Open title in a final that will be remembered as a turning point in women's tennis history. But it wasn't just the title or the electric three-set victory over world number one Iga Swiatek that made this win historic. It was what came next. Coco Gauff, now with her 13th WTA title, moved within striking distance of a record that had long seemed untouchable, that of Martina Hingis, the Swiss prodigy, whose teenage reign in the late 90s redefined the sport. Hingis' record of 17 WTA titles before the age of 22 has stood for over 2 decades, serving as both inspiration and daunting challenge to a generation of up-and-coming stars. Now, with Gauff just a few months away from her 22nd birthday, and riding the wave of her most dominant season yet, the question on everyone's mind is, can she do it? From prodigy to powerhouse, Coco Gauff's story is already legend. Thrust into the global spotlight at just 15, when she stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon 2019, she's been a beacon for a new era of American tennis. Her career has mirrored Hingis in some striking ways, Both made early splashes. Both became Grand Slam champions before 20. And both carried the burden of expectations heavier than most athletes twice their age. But Gauff's path has also been uniquely her own. Where Hingis relied on finesse and tactical genius, Coco has built her game on raw athleticism, unshakable focus, and a maturity far beyond her years. And while Hingis faced her own set of pressures during a pre-social media era, Gauff has grown up in the digital spotlight, with every victory, loss, and post-match quote dissected in real time. Coco is the kind of player who doesn't just chase records, she rewrites them, said former world number 1 Chris Evert during ESPN's coverage of the Cincinnati Open final. What she's doing now is not just impressive, it's era-defining. Cincinnati, a champion statement. The Cincinnati Open wasn't just another title for Gauff. It was a culmination of a season that's seen her win 3 WTA 1000 titles, reach the Australian Open final, and maintain a top 3 ranking for nearly a year. In Cincinnati, she powered through a stacked draw that included former champions, hardcourt specialists, and rising stars. In the final, she faced Swiatek, the 4-time French Open champion whose baseline dominance has terrorized the tour. But Gauff, drawing on the confidence of a maturing champion, played with both grit and grace. Her serve, a weapon that had once been a weakness, was firing. Her movement was pristine. Her court IQ, a skill honed under the tutelage of coach Brad Gilbert, allowed her to outfox Swiatek in the big moments. As she lifted the trophy, the stadium roaring, Gauff's expression wasn't just one of joy, it was resolve. Records? I don't play for them, she told reporters afterward. But if they come with the work, with the wins, then yeah, I'll take that challenge. The ghost of Hingis. Martina Hingis was, in her own way, the prototype of the tennis prodigy. At 16, she won the Australian Open. By 18, she collected 5 Grand Slam titles and 17 WTA championships. Her style, surgical, strategic, and disarmingly effortless, was ahead of its time. And yet, for all her early brilliance, Hingis' prime was brief. Injuries, a crowded field of power hitters, and personal challenges cut her career short before she ever reached 30. Still, her records, especially her tally of titles as a teenager and young adult, stood unshaken. Until now. Coco reminds me of myself in some ways, Hingis said in a recent interview with Tennis Magazine. But she's also her own kind of genius, physically stronger, mentally tougher at times. If she beats my record, I'll be the first to applaud. That endorsement speaks volumes, not just about Gauff's talent, but about the quiet passing of the torch that seems to be taking place, a recognition from one generation to the next. The road ahead. With the U.S. Open looming, the tennis world is abuzz with speculation. Can Coco add another title before she turns 22 in March 2026? Can she hit the magical number of 18 and set a new standard for excellence? The math is tight, but the momentum is real. She'll need to win 4 more tournaments before the cutoff. No small feat, but with the hardcourt swing in full motion and her game peaking, it's within the realm of possibility. Moreover, Coco's game isn't just improving, it's evolving. She's become more aggressive on return, more unpredictable in rallies, and increasingly comfortable in pressure moments. Unlike some young stars who fizzle under expectations, Gauff seems to draw strength from them. I used to worry about losing, she said during her Cincinnati post-match interview. Now I just focus on playing the kind of tennis that makes people say, "That's Coco Gauff." If that brings me titles or records, great. If not, I'll still be me. Beyond records. Ultimately, the story of Coco Gauff challenging Martina Hingis' record isn't just about numbers. It's about legacy, about growth, and about the shifting shape of greatness. Hingis, with her cool-headed brilliance, dominated an era. Gauff, with her fire and fearlessness, is shaping a new one. And in that space between them lies a deeper truth. That tennis is bigger than just records. It's about the players who inspire the next wave. As the WTA celebrates its 52nd year, Gauff stands as both a product of its rich past and a harbinger of its thrilling future. Whether she surpasses Hingis' mark or not, her journey has already become a blueprint for the modern athlete. Authentic, relentless, and proudly unafraid. Epilogue. A week after Cincinnati, Gauff posted a simple photo on Instagram, her holding the trophy, eyes focused, captioned with just 2 words, "Still climbing." It was less a boast than a promise, a signal that Coco Gauff isn't finished yet, not by a long shot. And somewhere in the echoes of stadiums past, you can almost hear Martina Hingis smile.